Hello, it's Bobi aka Paginator, and we're jumping back into the poetry inspired junk journal series. I'm making a lemonade junk journal inspired by a poem that I wrote in college when I was getting my master's degree. And I did read the poem out in part 1 of the series, so if you missed that, go back and find that one. I will put the link to my junk journal playlist down below, or you can search the hashtag poetry inspired journal. I am doing a collaboration with Janie from the Crafting Bookworm, and her series is pretty much all done by now, so I'm way behind schedule, but that's okay. In the last video, we picked out papers and put together signature piles. We have 5 signatures here. I did go through and fix the yellow dyed paper, as I said I was going to in part 1. And today I want to make some tags in honor of Barbara Winstead. This, I'm going to be using a method that she used, or similar to her method anyway, to make some tags. I mentioned in the last video in this series that I had tagged her in a tag making tag. That's a lot of the use of the word tag. And I'm going to be copying some of the techniques that she did for her video with that tag. But I need to probably stop rambling and get into the tag making. So I've got 2 pieces of cardstock here, just plain white cardstock. And I've got 2 colors of Distress Oxide. We have Squeezed Lemonade and Mowed Lawn. These are the 2 colors of oxide I'm using for this journal. And I've got brushes to use on these colors. So let's move one paper off to the side, and we'll start with the yellow. I'm going to brush this on, and I might be a little bit heavy-handed here because I want to get a good saturation of the color. You can see in some areas it's lighter than others, and I really want to get that bright yellow of the Squeezed Lemonade. And I'm not doing any specific shape here, I'm kind of just creating a blob of yellow. I didn't go as dark as I could have. You can still see there are some darker and lighter spots, but that is okay because then we get some color variation. Now we're going to come in with the green, the Mowed Lawn. And we're just going to go everywhere that the yellow isn't. And once I've gotten a certain space done, then I'm just going to take this brush and kind of blend the 2 colors together. Now, it looks a lot worse in the viewfinder of the camera than it does in person, I'm telling you. But I am going to come back in with the yellow again and hit those areas. Make them a little bit darker, blend into the green a little bit. So when Ronda made her tag, she actually used distressed crayons or some kind of crayons. I do have a few distressed crayons, but they're very neutral and I don't feel like they would quite match with the vibe I'm going for this journal. So that's why we are doing the brighter colors, and I promise you it looks way better in person than it does on the camera. I don't know why that looks so weird. Before I do the second page, I am just going to clean off my glass mat, just a little tiny spritz of water, and all of this is gone. So we'll do the same process here with the 2 colors, and then come back and do the next step in the tag making process. we now have our 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to cut these down into tag shapes, and then we'll move to Rhonda's next step. Alright, these are now cut. We've got 2 smaller tags. These are about 3 by 6. And then we've got 4 jumbo tags, and these are about 4 by 7. So I think what we'll do for the sake of the video is, instead of making all of the 6 tags that we've cut out, we'll just work on a couple of them. So what Rhonda did next was really interesting. She added some different types of translucent materials. She had some glassine and lots of different things. I just have one item. I have some gift wrap here. In order to do this, I'm going to be using some Mod Podge to add this on. And I also really want this to be crinkled up, so we're just going to give it a bit of a crinkle like that and let it unfold while I go grab the Mod Podge. Alright, I do have the matte Mod Podge. Even the matte kind is not really truly matte, but it is okay for the purposes of what I'm making. I don't mind if we get a little bit of glossy. You could use also matte gel, which I actually do have sitting right here. This is my Liquitex matte gel. I'm just going to paint over the top of the tags and add some of the gift wrap. I've got a hair from my paintbrush. That's really lovely. We're going to do one of these at a time. I'm going to unfold this so we just have a single layer. I've torn a piece that I think will be big enough to cover, and I'm just going to start at the top, and I'm going to kind of squish and bunch it as we press it down, so that not only do we get the wrinkles that we created when we bunched it up, but we've also got some added texture. Go back over the top of this with some more Mod Podge just to make sure that it gets really good and sealed down. So this does mute the yellow and green. In the places where the gift packaging, this thing, tissue paper, is folded, it's muted more, and then the thinner areas where it's more translucent, you can see the colors better. Okay, so you can see kind of a before and after of what this looks like. And I do have some bits around the edge that don't want to stick, so I'll just come back and add some more Mod Podge, which will help it stay down. I do have a couple little tears in the tissue paper. If that happens and you're trying this, don't worry. Remember, perfection belongs to God, not crafters. I was doing a church activity with some of the ladies from my church, and I was teaching them how to make flat lay journals, and I had told them that very thing, perfection belongs to God, not crafters. And by the way, if you're not a believer in God, I mean no disrespect or offense to anyone. I am a believer in God, and I just say things like that as part of the way that I speak about stuff. But anyway, I was telling the ladies in my church group, remember this, perfection belongs to God, not crafters. And most of them really liked that, but there was one lady who just could not let go of trying to be perfect. So at one point, I made her look me in the eye, and I said, okay, you have to repeat this back to me. Made her say the saying. She probably thought I was certifiably insane, and she may not be terribly wrong about that, but you can't expect perfection from yourself, because no one is perfect. I want to sew around these next, which is not something that Rhonda did. I do want to do some sewing while I still have white thread in my machine, because I think it'll go well with the color scheme and look for this journal. Anyway, this must dry very well, so I'm going to come back to you in a little while, of course, through video editing magic. It won't be but a moment for you, but we'll be back later when these are dry and continue with these tags. Our tags are now dry, and I have cut the tissue paper around the edges, sewn around them, and punched a hole and added an eyelet. I felt like I could do that without showing everything there. Next up is going to be to add some decorations. So I have a few lemon scrap things that come from some Daphne's Diary magazines. I also have some yellow flowers, and I have these that could be used for toppers. These are different fibers and things that come from Taperology. And I'll wait on those to choose which one to use until after the decorations are done. I want to get a lemon piece that's a little bit larger, so I'm going to take this one and do some fussy cutting. Alright, I could go through and cut out the white pieces here, but I'm not going to because that's too fiddly. So we have this lemon. I have a lemon tree, some other lemon bits, a yellow butterfly, more lemons here, some tea with lemon, and some teapots. But I think actually what I'd like to do is just do this lemon. I don't know if I want to do it by itself or add some flowers kind of behind it. I don't know. What does it look like with some other flowers there? I don't know. I think that's too much. What I actually think might be a better idea is to just do the lemon that I fussy cut and then maybe add one of these Tim Holtz sentiments. I've used almost all of this pad of them, but we could do one of those. So let's go ahead and glue down this lemon. And I want to put this one that says "So Lucky," and we're going to put it right here. So I want to use this green thread because it's going to give some good contrast to the bright yellows. I'm a little bit nervous to use these because I'm like, but if I use them, then they'll be gone. You know how that goes with like supplies that you really love. You're like, oh, I don't want to actually use them, but I can't hoard them forever. I need to use what I have. So, okay, make sure all the pieces are through. And we'll just simply tie a knot at the top. The paper is still a bit warped. You can see that it's like this. So I'm going to need to press these flat. But otherwise, this tag is done. Let's decide how we want to do this one. I want to use these teapots here that are the yellow and green. So what I would maybe do is cut them out, and then instead of this where it says tea from your own garden, I'd use the another one of those sentiments to cover the gap in that teapot there. Alright, unlike the other one, I do think I need to add some more besides this because we are going to put the sentiment, but then we also just have these teapots kind of free floating in space. And you might say, but those lemons are free floating in space. I don't know why, but my artistic instinct is telling me we need something here. So we're going to take some of these yellow flowers and create kind of a bed. I want to take some of these, but I don't want all of the greenery on this one, so I'm just going to use part of the sticker and just get some more yellow blossoms over here. I was about to say I promise you this will make sense when I get done, but I can't guarantee that because I'm still not sure if it makes sense to me. Okay, this one says genuine, and we're going to put it right there. So the green teapot's still floating a little bit. Is there another small yellow blossom I could maybe sneak in? Right there. Let's see. Okay, that looks less like it's just kind of floating. What do we think? Alright, we need some, a topper for this one. Do we want to do the green again, or do we want to do this mix of light green and yellow and white? I kind of feel like the green again. Alright, I'm going to twist these together at this end and see if I can get them all through at once. Okay, 2 tags done. They just need to be flattened. Here I brought the rest of the tags to the stage just before we decorate, and you might be wondering where the other small tag is. Well, after I Mod Podged and put the tissue paper on, I left it on top of the envelope that I'd been using as like a cover or like protection for this mat, and it got stuck to it to the point where when I was trying to remove it, it ended up ripping the tag in half. So that one's not usable anymore. Oh well. So we're gonna just do some decorating on these, and I think that'll be it for this installment of this series. One of these little magazine bits has some lemons, and then also this cup of tea with lemons in it. So I thought I'd cut them out separately and then kind of arrange them. So I've been thinking about how these lemons have been making me think about Hawaii quite a bit, and one of the yellow flowers is this beautiful flower that looks like a hibiscus. I don't know for sure if it is because I'm not a flower expert, but I thought I could use this and these lemon pieces to kind of do a little collage on this tag here. Keep these consistent with the other ones, let's add a sentiment, and let's see. I like this curiosity. Oops, I don't want 2, just 1. Curiosity. As in, I'm curious as to when I can go to Hawaii again. Alright, this one's ready for a topper, and we haven't used any of this variety with the mix of yellow and light green, so let's take some of that. That looks cute. So all of these are just going to be plain on the back. Some of the oxide dye might seep through a little bit, but it's going to give writing space for the back side, which will be nice. Alright, we've got 3 done. We've got 2 more to go. Oh, this one is the one that was still hiding in the box. I don't think I showed you this one yet, but we've got a picture of lemonade, although it looks a tiny bit orangey, but it was with all the rest of the lemon stuff, so we're going to just assume that it's lemon. It's too little for this tag. Is it too orangey? Okay, what does it look like when we do this? Oh, we need to trim that little tiny bit of white off of that lemon. I think that's okay. It is a bit orange, but again, it doesn't have to be. It can be lemons if we want it to be lemons. What do we want for this one? Let's put Be Brave on this one. Alright, how does that one look? Yes? No? And for our final one, we've got a lemon tree, some lemons, and a yellow butterfly. So let's start by fussy cutting around the lemon tree. Okay, I think we'll have the bigger lemons here, and then the lemon tree, and then the butterfly up top, and then we'll do another sentiment here. While I'm gluing these, random question. Have any of you guys watched the new Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman movie on Netflix? Family Affair or something like that? So it's a rom-com starring those two, and Zac Efron plays a movie star in his 30s who falls in love with his assistant's older widowed mother, played by Nicole Kidman. And it's overall a really cute story. I think it's just rated PG-13, if I remember right. But the whole time I was trying to figure out what the heck happened to Zac Efron's face, because it just looks different. And I mean, I have loved him as an actor for quite a while now, and like that, what the heck? Has he had plastic surgery? Is it like what's happened? So, oh crap. Okay, no, put it like this. Okay. Anyway, I got online and looked it up, and what happened was he had a facial injury that like where he broke his jaw, and like his whole bottom portion of his jaw was like hanging off. And so as he's had surgeries and things to reconstruct it and get healthy again, it's just like become more square. So bizarre. Anyway, I did think it was kind of a cute movie. Like, nobody's gonna win an Oscar for it, but you know, sometimes the rom-com, you just need a cute story, and that will get you there. Okay, what one do we want to do on this one? I want kind of a longer one. Let's pick this one, Live Your Life. Okay, my only thing I don't like is on the magazine image, there's some leaves coming onto the plant pot here, but if I put the lemon on top, the lemon's kind of cut wonky, so I don't know, I feel like it's just going to have to stay like that. Alright, so let's go back to the green threads for this one. So I'm just really liking the dark green and the way it contrasts with the bright colors. Okay, we now have 5 tags for our poetry-inspired lemon journal. Ta-da! What do we think? Give me a thumbs up if you liked this one, and be sure to come back for the rest of the series. Again, this is part 2, and I will continue working on and making this journal, and hopefully we'll have some fun in enjoyment along the way. So I'm going to wish you all a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios.